In this first look video from InfluenceWP, we are checking out a WordPress plugin called Happy WooCommerce FAQs Pro, which is going to allow you to create FAQs not only for your WooCommerce store, displaying them on your products, your cart page, your shop page, your checkout pages, things of that nature, but also just for your WordPress website in general. Before we poke around this website here a bit and then look at the actual solution together, just a quick bit of housekeeping. First look videos cover products we have no prior experience with. They show vendors how new users experience their website and product for the very first time. These videos are unedited, high-level introductions that are not paid for, they're not sponsored, and they contain no affiliate links. If you would like videos like this created for your business, go to influencewp.com/partners and request your free partner membership. And we thank Happy Devs, the team behind this plugin, for being a partner. If you like what you see in this video, go over to our site, find the deals area, do a search for this plugin, and grab the exclusive deal. Alrighty, so the website we are working with today is Happy Devs, so that's happy and then devs.net. Once you are there, right up in the navigation area, just hover over plugins and then go to WooCommerce FAQs. So that's the page we are on here. And what I want to do first is rattle off all of the features of the plugin so we don't miss any when we go to look at the solution together for the first time. And then I want to look for some key pages like an about page, a changelog, the documentation, pages of that nature. Okay. All right. So first thing we want to do is we want to find the features. So I'm just going to start scrolling until I find them. I do see a key features section here. Now, I do know just from reading the documentation before hitting record, there is a section down here. There's a button, CTA, see all features. So I'm just going to rattle all of these off very quickly, and then we'll poke around the rest of the website. Schema support, sorting FAQs, so the ability to sort those FAQs, shortcode support, expand, collapse all, media image support, comment support, FAQ tab reorder, fully customization, so fully customizable, FAQs by product categories, by product tags. Customers can ask questions to create those FAQs, from what I understand. Variation product FAQs, beautiful FAQ templates, display in product pages, archive pages, shop pages, cart pages, checkout pages, dynamic product attributes, global FAQs, right to left language support, so RTL support. You can search the FAQs, and then lastly, multi-column support. All right, let's look for some of those key pages like an about page. All right, so I'm not seeing an about page. Let's go up to the top, see if we see anything here. So I would like to see an about page, a little bit about the team, some faces, some names behind the team, just to establish that trust with potential customers. Next up, let's look at the documentation. And what else? We're going to find a changelog. I'm going to just do a search here for changelog, see if anything comes up. Here we go, view changelog, that's good. The other point that I want to make here is a recommendation, and that I would not display your pricing this far up the food chain on your homepage. You first need to, in my opinion, let people know what the features are, let people know what this solution is going to do before you hit them with the pricing. So I think this pricing section here is a little too early, in my opinion, and I would move that down. So I would move these key features towards the top, kind of rearrange this homepage just a bit. Okay, let's check out the documentation. Okay, this looks to be the documentation. It looks to be searchable, which is good. Let's just do a search for something. I'll do a search for shop. Okay, so search looks to be good. Documentation looks to be good. So all good there. Here we have the changelog. So this actually took me to the WordPress repository. This is giving me a changelog for what I presume to be is the free version. So here we are on our test site. You do need the free version to work with Pro. But as you see here, the free version has a different version, 1.8.14, whereas the Pro has 1.18. So if we're going over here and looking at the changelog here, this is actually the changelog for the free version. Okay. So another recommendation here is I would have a changelog listed on the website for the pro version somewhere in here. Let's do a search for changelog in here. Okay. All right. So that's it. Have a changelog for your pro version somewhere on your site, easily accessible. Will be my last bit of advice there. I'm going to pull up the documentation again in case we need it, but let's just go ahead and get started and see what we can do. So again, we need the free version from the repo and we need the pro version. Another bit of feedback I would have is I've already inserted my license key. We are on the pro version. From an agency standpoint, I wouldn't want my customers to see that it says Go Pro like this. Once you've activated the pro version, I think this should go away. Just a small nit there. All right, let's go into settings. All right, so here we are in the settings. I just scroll down a bit here. We do have some links to the documentation, some videos, support, FAQs, things of that nature. Let's click on settings here. Okay, so a bit confusing here. See how that settings page, this is a nice page here. So I think if somebody were to actually click on the settings here, I think that's probably where we should go. It's a little bit confusing. So it's like there's two different settings pages. Or is this, yeah, it's a little confusing. See how these settings pages are completely different? So a little bit of feedback there. I'm going to go with these settings. So we start off in the general tab. Our tab label is FAQs. Change the FAQ tab label. It will affect in the product page description FAQ tab. Okay, so let's go into products. And let's scroll down here. Okay, here we have an FAQs tab. Okay. All right, FAQ list, manage current product FAQs here. These controls will work only if products are assigned to FAQs instead of product categories. Okay, so let's view this on the front end. And we don't have that FAQ tab yet, which makes sense. So I think what this setting is telling us right here is what that tab label is going to be once we do have a tab in there. So we'll find out there. Okay, do we want to enable FAQs in archives, shop page, cart page, checkout page? Let's go ahead and let's do it in our checkout. Let's do it in cart. So before we get to the checkout, we want to display some FAQs. And take that back. Let's do this even earlier. Let's go in shop. Let's go shop page. Tab priority, reorder the FAQ tab according to its priority. We're just going to leave that as is. Enable global FAQs. This looks to be a tool tip right here, but it's not working. So I'm not really sure what this little icon right here is. So just another bit of feedback. Either make that work or I'd probably take that out. Enable customer questions to make customers capable of asking a question. I do want to see how that works, but we'll leave that off for now. Enable dynamic attributes. So my understanding here is you can, based on the attributes of a product. So let's say you have a variable product in WooCommerce, based on those attributes, you could do certain dynamic FAQs based off of those. We're not going to do that in this video. We're going to stay more high level. You want the ability to expand, collapse all. We'll just leave that as default. Expand, collapse all labels. Oh, that's the label. Okay. All right. So that only comes into play, obviously, if you enable that feature. Enable search box. Yes, I do want to check that out. Search box position. We will leave that at the default. Obviously, you have options. FAQ counter and product list. Hide FAQs counter column from the product list table. So they show that by default. We will leave that on there. Hide dynamic shortcode preview and product page. We'll just show that. Do you want to display anything after FAQ? So maybe you want to put some sort of instructions, a disclaimer, whatever that case may be. You can add that to the end of the accordion. Over here, we can adjust the location in the single product page. So here we have product tab by default, top of product page. before product summary, and so on and so forth. We will just go with the default option there. Display location on an archive page. We're not going to touch that today, but you have all of the similar settings here, or they're very similar. In other words, we are also going to show it on the shop page. We're just going to go with the default before the main content. We'll adjust if we need to. Display location on the cart page. We're not going to mess with that. We're not going to mess with the checkout page. The default editor is Gutenberg, but we can change that to the classic editor if we want. Global FAQs appearance, display first, display last. FAQ post behavior. Do you want to index it or not index it? I'm not sure what the post behavior means. Is that like if a customer with a customer question? Would that be indexed or not indexed? Again, I don't have a tooltip here, so I'd have to go to the documentation. We'll go with the default of no index here. Let me go over the documentation. Let's do a search for the word behavior. Yeah, nothing is in there. So I would have a bit more instructions here. Get those tooltips working so we know what this stuff really means. I'm not really sure. What comes to mind is an FAQ schema, and are we indexing it or no? Not really sure what we're doing here. All right, we'll just go ahead and skip that. Display all answers, hide or show, enable RTL. We'll leave that as default. Access role. Which roles should have access to the posts? Okay, so this makes me think, me as the admin, I'm going to be creating each individual question and answer. Do I want to index those? And I would think, yes, you would want to index those. Here we are saying set access role. Okay, we'll go with just the default, but maybe if you have multiple team members that maybe are editors or authors, you could set that. Enable multi-column. We'll just go with defaults here. So that way that our accordion's just like a single accordion rather than one on the left, for example, and one on the right. FAQ counter. Let's go ahead and show that just to see what it looks like. Hide general shortcode preview. We're showing that. And then, so down here, we could put something after our FAQs. Here, we can put something before. And you got the full WYSIWYG editor and whatnot to do that. All right, let's go ahead and save our changes. Now we have a style tab where we can adjust the width, background color, border colors, answer background color, answer border colors, question text color, question background color, secondary color. You can adjust the font size, the font color. You can add your own custom CSS. Let's go with just the defaults to start. Here we can do our schema. Yeah, this is what I was kind of thinking about earlier. Enable, disable schema. So I would definitely enable that. Schema distribution type, I would just go with the default of description with HTML. Let's go over to comments. Do we want to enable comments? Do we want to show the comment avatar? Obviously, if you're disabling comments, some of this stuff doesn't even come into play. But if you are enabling comments, you have a lot of options there. Yeah, sorting, comment section titles. You can style everything, adjust the labels. So again, that only applies if you're actually allowing the commenting. So I've turned that off, or it's actually off by default. We will leave that off, again, staying high level. And then lastly, here we have the AI FAQs. We have the ability to set different models. I think we're going to give this a shot. I will leave everything else as default, the max tokens. We need to put our API key in there. Let me grab the API key. All right, so our key is in there. Okay, so I think that's it. Let's go over to our dashboard. All right, so okay, so that's the dashboard. Let's go to all FAQs. We haven't created any, we will. We can add one there. We can do categories for FAQs if we want, customer questions. So once a customer asks a question, those should appear in here, and we can probably do different things with those. AI FAQs, we haven't touched those yet. We will look at that. Here's our templates. And we have the ability to preview the templates. That is cool. All right, we went over the settings. I want to quickly go back over to the plugins and click this settings right here. Okay, so this looks to be maybe the same settings. No, yeah, I guess it is the same exact, it looks to be the same exact settings. It's just not presented as pretty as it is over here. So I would just think about how all of that is going right now. Alrighty, let's go create an FAQ. So I'm going to go add new FAQ. Let's see, we'll just call this IWP just to be quick. Let's go down here under products. Let's assign it to our simple product. We can also assign it to categories if we want. Actually, we'll do that. We'll just assign it to the category IWP so it applies to all products under that category. We can choose tags. We can display in pages. So I'm going to choose, as I talked about earlier, we're going to show this in our shop page as well. And let's go over here. We didn't add any categories for FAQs, but we could assign those here. The only thing I'm not seeing is like, how do you get the templates in here? Let's see if this is in a block. So I'm going to add a block. I'm going to do a search for FAQ. All right, let's go back over to our settings and our templates. So we have some here that are active, but I'm not really sure how you use them. Okay, so we created our FAQ block, or our FAQ, I should say. All right, let's go ahead and publish this and see what happens. No. Let's go to, so here's our single product. When I refresh this, there should be an FAQ tab that appears, I'm guessing, right here somewhere. There we go. So there's our FAQs. Here is our FAQ accordion. We have the ability here to search. Okay, so now how do we get our templates in here? Is there a... Let's go back over here to our templates again. We deactivated that, activated that. We previewed it. I just don't know how to get to the templates. Let's go to the docs. Let's do a search for a template. Nothing. Layout presets. Let's try this. Here we go. So a bit of feedback here. We call these layout presets here, but over here they're called templates. So I kind of think about getting consistent with those names, because I wouldn't have thought to search for presets in the search for the documentation. But here's our templates, but there's no instructions on how to use them potentially. Okay, let's see here. Add your FAQs. We did that. Okay. So each post is an entry into the FAQs, it looks like. So we come over here. This actually should be a question. We'll do IWP question 1. Is that what they're saying? See if I can zoom in on this. Yeah, okay. So let's do And then this is my answer to Q1. Save. And then let's go back into our dashboard. Let's go FAQs type general. All right, FAQ. Let's do IWP Q2. This is my answer to Q2. And I want to say it's back again. It's in our categories. So it's all of our products at this point. Show in our shop page and publish. Okay, so back over here, if we refresh, we should have 2 questions, both assigned to our same product category, same display page of shop, same type, which is general. Now, if I go and refresh this, I should see 2 accordions. There we go. There's Q1 and there's Q2. Okay, so that makes sense. I was kind of under the impression that you're built like each of these entries is just you would give it a name of like maybe you call it shop page, and then you would add from there individual, like within the blocks you could set like your FAQ1 and FAQ2. I didn't know there was going to be these individual options, but it's fine. It's totally fine. I just wasn't aware that that's the case. Let's go. So that's cool. So single product page is displaying. It'll display in any of our products. Let's go to our shop page. We should see it there. I'm not seeing it there, despite saying display in pages, shop page. Let's go to our settings again. Let's change this. Remember we talked about the label? Maybe we want to make this to say the whole thing, the whole, the full words, just to test this out. So we'll change that. We did enable FAQs in the shop page, but it's not showing. Let's try in the cart. Let's try the checkout. Global FAQs, I think that's just means it's going to like anywhere that you use this plugin and have FAQs, you can set to display it in there. Let's go ahead and turn that on. Let's enable customer questions. Let's play with the expand collapse all. We've got the search box in there. What else? Display location on single product page. We did that product tab, but again, you can readjust all of those. Display location on shop page. Let's do this. Maybe this is the problem. Let's do after main content. Okay, see Gutenberg's the editor. Okay. All right, I think that's cool. Let's go ahead and roll with that and see what we get. So here's our shop page. Oh, you know what? That's not our shop page. That's why. I don't know why that's not coming up. Okay, we'll skip the shop page. Let's go to our product. I had this happen earlier where I couldn't get the shop page to come up, and I'll tinker with that after the video, but it's redirecting to the home page, and I need to figure out why that's doing that. I think I know why it's doing that. I just see here it says coming soon up here in WooCommerce. This is one of the newer features. Let's go in here and set this live. And let's see if we can get to our shop page now. Nope, still can't. All right. Alrighty, let's skip that. Like I said, I'll do that after the video, but let's go into our product page here again. Okay, so we see that our label has changed. We now have the ability for the customers to ask a question here. We also have the ability now to expand and collapse all. So that's cool, that's working. Let's ask a question. Let's go Ryan, and you can put your email address in here. What is the best color you have for t-shirts? Let's do something more realistic. Do your shirt sizes come in XL? All right, let's go ahead and submit that. Let's go over to our customer questions section. Here is that question. We now have the ability to reply to that if we want. Yes, we definitely, oh, auto-completes. Yes, we definitely do. All right, let's submit that. Now, let's go over to our FAQs. Can I make this an FAQ? Add new FAQ. Oh, maybe you just take the questions and then you add them yourself. Let's go over here, customer questions. Okay, here we go. So enable questions. Admin can put customer questions section on any post or page using this shortcode. Oh, cool, cool. Okay. So let's copy that. Let's go over to a page. Let's just call this customer questions. Let's drop the shortcode block in here. Publish, publish, view on front end. There we go. Okay. Okay. So looks more like and I'm using the default 2025 theme with WordPress. Your theme is going to impact how this looks. So this is not necessarily an indictment on this plugin we're looking at. This could be the theme. So please keep that in mind that you may have to add some styling because of your theme. But here we go. You can ask questions from here, but I thought we could display the questions. Admin can put customer questions section on any post or page. We have used it here on a single product page within this. Okay, that's cool. That's really cool. So you could add it. That's a good thing. So you come over here to your products. Let's say we want to add it to the simple product. We go into the product short description down here and drop that in. So now when you view this on the front end, you can allow customers, where was that at? Oops, wrong one. Let's go back over here. That was my fault. Let's clear that out. Let's switch over to the code tab rather than visual. Drop that in, update it, refresh. Okay, still not in there. Let's go back to the product. Let's take that out. Let's drop it up here in this area. Here we go. I guess we already accomplished that here with the ask a question. We already have that ability in there. So they're talking about, we did add it to the product short description. Customers will be able to see the ask a question button. Okay, so we already did that without the short code. We didn't need the short code. All right, so we come in here, we take this out. We already saw here, let's refresh, that we have this ability right here already. So not quite sure what's going on there. Customers filling out the question form. After your customers ask us a question, go through, okay, yep, they will get that. They'll get notified. Admin will be able to see all the customers' questions, including the ones we just added above. Yep. Admin can reply to the questions. Customers will get an email. Okay, so I kind of thought this worked a little bit different to where you could then choose to add these questions directly to an FAQ. So you could come in here, for example, close some of this out. So I thought when you come in here, there's like a customer question, right? Like the one I asked, that there would be a button in here. You could say add this to an FAQ. I think that would be a cool feature. So right now the question is, or the alternative is, okay, this is a question that we haven't put on our website in our FAQs, but obviously customers are interested in that question. So we come over here, copy that question, go over and add an FAQ for that, and then give it the answer. Yes, we do. Publish that. Go back over to our simple product and refresh, and we should have that question in there. We don't, because we haven't it should be in there, right? Got the question 1 and 2. Oh, we didn't add it. Okay, so we got to come down here. We're going to choose that product category again, our IWP category. And display in pages, shop, which I couldn't get to work. Let's go ahead and just do this on the cart page to try out, save it. Refreshing our single product, we should see that question in there now. And we do, it's right there. So that's cool. Let's go add this to our cart. And here's our FAQ. Nope, cart. Okay, so we are in the cart page. And I'm not seeing the FAQs in here. Let's go back to our settings. Sorry, I've got way too many screens open here. Let me start closing some of these. All right, so we are in here. We actually need the settings. I'm in the wrong spot. Let's go to settings. I'm almost going to get you guys out of here. We'll look at the AI piece, and then I'll get you guys out of here. So on the cart page, before cart, let's do after cart content. See if that jars something loose. Let's try the checkout. See if it's on the checkout page. Okay, so I'm not really sure if you're watching this. Then you're in. If you're watching this, partner, Happy Devs, you can see that there's a little bit of a challenge here. Assign FAQ location. It might, if you know that there's a potential issue like with block-based themes in WooCommerce, maybe educate people on that, because I'm not really sure what to choose here, but I can't get it to display on the cart page or the checkout page. Let's just change some random settings and see if it works. Yeah, I'm not sure how to get this to work on these pages. The next thing that we could try to do is, let's see here. Let's do an incognito window. Let's go. Now we can go to the shop. So something when you're logged in as the admin, it's like keeps redirecting me. Okay. So now we're on the shop page and it's showing. Okay, that's cool. So now let's add a product to the cart. Let's view the cart. Okay, still not showing up in the cart and still not showing up on the checkout page. Now, what I will say, I've seen instances where certain solutions don't work with the new block editor based WooCommerce cart and checkout. So if we were using a classic editor in this case, maybe that would work. But from what I understand, this should work with Gutenberg. So, but working with Gutenberg doesn't necessarily mean that it works with the cart blocks and the checkout blocks. So maybe a bit for Happy Devs, the partner behind this product, to look into a bit more. But overall, cool stuff. Let's try the AI, and then like I said, I'll get you guys out of here. All right, AI FAQs Generator. Create product FAQs with AI and import them. All right, let's select a product. Let's just go simple product. Okay, so selecting products doesn't seem to work. Oh, there we go. Take that back. Okay, keywords. Create product. Okay, so we're selecting them and then we're adding keywords. Let's just do IWP keyword. For fun, language, English, we can choose whatever we want. Okay, generate FAQs. We'll just give this a bit to go, run, and then we'll see what we get. I don't know. I don't know if it's possible. I mean, pretty much anything I think is possible with software, but some sort of indication that this is working. You know, like even if it's just a progress indicator that's not 100% accurate, but just to show that some progress is being made. Because right now, I don't know if anything is actually happening. If there's errors, not really seeing anything that's like jumping out, but we're kind of left here as the customer just to wonder what's happening. And then obviously when you creating an FAQs like this, you know, you're going to want to put in actual keywords, you know, things that people might actually ask about the particular product. Like if like this wasn't just called a simple product, it was called, I don't know, t-shirt, whatever. And keywords might be, you know, like shirt sizes, you know, fits to, I can't think of the word now. When you purchase clothing and it's like, I can't think of the word right now. But anyway, think of those keywords that has to do with a t-shirt: colors, sizes, material, things that people might ask. All right, I think we're going to abandon this because I don't really know what's happening. I don't know how long this is going to take. But overall, I think this is a very cool product. I totally get it. It makes sense. There is a bit of polishing, in my opinion, that needs to happen. The settings pages, I think, need to be cleaned up a bit. I couldn't get some things to display, and I don't know if that's me that was on the issue. I don't know if it's because of the 2025 WordPress theme and being block based on the cart and the checkout page. There's just a little bit of fine tuning that I can see needs to happen, but I totally understand the product, totally get it. It's very cool. I like that you can ask customer questions and then take those and feed those into your FAQs. The other thing that I struggled with is I don't really understand the templates. I don't understand how to apply them or how to use them. And again, it could be my fault. It could be something that I overlooked, but I did go to the documentation and I did a search again for template and nothing came up. But if I do a search for what are they called? They're called something different. Layout, I think it was called layout something or other. Layout presets. So I would look at that too and look to make sure that you're using the consistent terminology across the board. And the other thing too is when we were on this, couple big things: have an about page on there, and also the other big one, in my opinion, well, a couple other things. I wouldn't put the pricing page this far up. Don't display the pricing until you've told the customer what this is actually going to do for them. And then the change log. The change log links to the free version in the WordPress repo. It doesn't cover, from what I can see, the pro version. All right. So all in all, again, if we look at this product and we look at all of the available options, it's clear that a lot of work went into this. We didn't touch on any of the styling because we're staying very high level here. So it didn't look the best, but that's because of me. That's not because of the product. You can clearly come in here and style this. And worst case scenario, you can add your own custom CSS here, as we see. But you also have the templates. I'd like to figure out how to get those templates added. One more time, real quick, let's go, and then I will get you guys out of here. Layout presets. They don't tell you how to use them. Okay, yeah, they don't tell you how to use those. Is it in the shortcodes? Maybe this is it. This looks like it might be it. Display all FAQs for a specific product with a specific template. That's what it is. Okay. Okay. Let's just do this real quick. I keep saying I'm going to get you guys out of here, but let's just do this real quick. Let's see what we can do here. Here we use 20 as the product ID. Display all FAQs for a random product having FAQs with default template. Okay, display all FAQs for a specific product with a specific template. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's go pages, all pages. Where did I have my? We'll do this under the customer questions just for speed here. Let's go over to our products. Let's grab one of these product IDs. So product ID is 14 in this case. All right, this default, we have template 1. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like on the front end. So that's not working. Note here we used 20 as the product ID. Display all FAQs. Let's just try this one, see if it works. I think I had the shortcut wrong though. Yeah, that was my fault. I had double brackets. So that's my fault. All right, let's get rid of that. Save. This is a problem I've seen with the block editor. Sometimes it does that. And it's hard to get in here and get out of that. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and refresh the front end to see if it helps. There we go. So this is template 1 because we see that right here. So now we can go in, we can try different templates. Let's try 2. Sorry, the block editor is giving me fits right now. I'm just going to type in random text there, refresh. There we go. So now we see that template has changed. Let's do one more, and I promise you, I'm getting you out of here after this one. So a problem there, that's the block editor. That's not this plugin. That is a block editor issue that I found. Here we go. This is our new, different style. And again, you have the ability to then go in and further style these under the settings. All right, guys, I'm gonna get you out of here. Cool plugin. I definitely see the potential. Thank you, Happy Devs, for being a partner. Hopefully you take some of the advice that I laid out there and you put it into action. And yeah, if you like what you see in this video and you see the potential in this plugin, influencewp.com/deals and grab the exclusive offer. All right, catch you guys in the next video. See ya.